Let me see how this music sounds now that we got a good mic. Let me see. Oh, you can hear me? Testing, testing. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. Cause I gotta keep going, keep coming to every step. Pull all this shit in my mind, but look at the time, keep going, I can never stop. I'm trying to rock with you. No listen, listen around, get your little attitude. No love, sure you can't hang with you. Dummy, I'm gone right now. All 4 shots, can't talk right now. He say one fight till I wasn't there. He tried to play, get from around, don't make it hot, don't make it sound. Broke out the shit, you in the crowd, think you crazy, no nigga, you not. I got your bitch shit, you know how I do my dance, I do my love pop. She going crazy, I think she about. Goddamn, I think she about. I told her to wait, but she gon' stop. My hands on the face, my shit getting tired. Damn, she hitting me like she a problem. I can't do it because she my own. Damn. Cause I gotta keep going, keep coming to every stop. Whole lot of shit in my mind, but look at the time, keep going, I can never stop. I'm to the rock with you. No leg, mess around, get your little attitude. No love, so they can't hang with you. Yeah, just give me a minute. I said, give me a moment. Sometimes you got to be down, so you can go up, it don't matter. Just at my opponent. Yeah, I like the ones I fuck that night. Like told choice, I go that bitch. I like the twice shit, doing it right. Damn, I forgot all about that shit. Damn, forgot all about that bitch. Damn, can't even talk my shit. Damn, how many hoes in this bitch? Damn, how many drugs in this bitch? I'm trying to get lit, just give me a drink. Don't act what I want. You just gotta think, just pour up the henny, the coke in the face. I'll be here just sitting like I'm in the dick. Cause I gotta keep going, keep coming to every stop. Pull all this shit in my mind, but look at the time, keep going, I can never stop. I'm trying to rock with you. No love, sure you ain't playing. Listen around, get your little attitude. No love, sure you can't hang with you. Cause I gotta keep going, keep coming to every stop. Pull all this shit in my mind, but look at the time, keep going, I can never stop. I'm trying to rock with you. No love, sure you ain't playing. Listen around, get your little attitude. No love, sure you can't hang with you.
Why are you not investing in tax liens? No, seriously. Why are you not investing into one of the most...
So it's New Year's Day 2025, and you have a Cybertruck that explodes in front of Trump Tower. Now, if you can't put together the symbolism there, then I don't know what to do for you. And I want you to keep this in mind, okay? What was the last year that Trump was in office? 2020. Do you remember what that was like? Do you remember what 2020 was like? I do, okay? That was their full court press. Every single thing they could do to create chaos in the country, they were doing. And
all right. What up? It's the Mamba Sauce. I am Mamba, and I'm here to talk my talks, okay? I'm here to talk my talks. Another day. Happy New Year's, first of all. Let's get that out the way. Happy New Year's to all my people, all my subscribers, all my supporters. I want to say congratulations to all of us. We're the chosen ones that made it. And we are here to do it for 2025, and we're going to keep it hot and keep the soup and the sauce piping hot. All right, so what do we have today? Today, we're talking about a few things here. First and foremost, we're going to talk about the attack on Trump. Trump is under fire right now, as some of you have probably already heard. Sipping on a little champagne for the New Year's, and of course, got the agua. Keep the juice flowing. Yeah, so I run across this video. I'm gonna give the credit to I guess RealJesseONFIRE, and he did a pretty good video on this one when he was talking about the attack on Trump, and he's kind of taking us back to 2020 and talking about some things and the reasons why they're coming at Trump right now. So let's, that being said, let's take a listen.
And on New Year's Day, you got this situation here when you have attacks and you've got people in the streets again and you got absolute sheer chaos. Don't make the mistake of thinking this is random. This is us. We're doing this to you. And we're all going to suffer from it. I mean, I hope I'm wrong. All right, we are off to quite a start in 2025. So as we discussed in the other video, there was a very tragic.
And let me just say, I followed this guy. I ran across his channel probably during the elections. And he was one of the credible sources as far as the news. And sometimes he takes it a little bit over the top, but for the most part, he stays right where it should be in the meat and potatoes. So I find him to be a credible source, and that's the only reason why we're actually previewing his videos here. Okay, let me just say that. All right.
Event in New Orleans. As of now, there are 47 people dead or injured in New Orleans. I believe 10 are dead. The other ones are injuries. 2 of them are cops that were shot by the suspect, who we now know is part of a terror organization. And they talked about it potentially being one of many. And within hours, okay, this just happened. That happened at 3:30 in the morning or something like that in New Orleans.
All right. So the whole thing is the Democrats, respect to them, but they are upset, y'all. They are ready to do whatever it takes so this guy does not take the reins of office. Okay. So now they are staging all kinds of things, and I'm not making them responsible for it. Right. But when someone is under attack, you got to look at, well, who has something to gain from this, and the only people that I could see that could really gain from this are actually people like the immigrants that will be kicked out of here as soon as Trump gets into office, are the Democrats that are going to get kicked out of office when Trump gets here this year, in a few weeks here. So you always got to watch who has something to lose when something bad happens. Okay. So that's what we're going to be focusing on. I'm going to continue.
Orleans. And now, as of this moment, there's now an explosion at Trump Tower in Las Vegas. And when I first saw it, I was like, I bet you this is probably going to be that, but who knows? Now, not only do we have a video of what happened, but we know exactly.
Now, I was gonna name the video "Trump Gets Killed," but I mean on the live, but I don't want to, I don't want to take it there. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody knocking on my door. So allegedly they almost got him. It was Trump Towers. I don't know if he lives there or if he occasionally visits there. I would imagine he does, but it'll be interesting to know where he was where this happened, or if this is just a scare tactic. Let's go.
What it was. It's definitely an act of that. And my other one I just saw, it got demonetized. I have no idea why. I think if you say the word, like what you would call an Al Qaeda person, like a terror, like.
Oh, well, snap. It looks like I'm going to have to change my title because that's what I use. I use the T word that rhymes with era. I use that word, so I may have to change that. So thanks for telling me, Jesse. Let's go.
Yeah, I think if you say that, you get demonetized. So I'm going to try to avoid that language, but that's exactly what it is. And right here,
look at the Tesla truck. You guys see the Tesla truck
itself?
So,
and then we're going to talk about how we know for 100%.
Did this explosion happen from the Tesla truck, or did they bomb the Tesla truck? Now that's something to look for. That's something to look at, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because everyone knows that Trump has partnered up with Elon Musk, and Elon Musk is also a big reason why Trump won, the election. So now, if they're trying to send a message and they're sending it through a Tesla truck, or they're hopping out the Tesla truck, or they're bombing the Tesla truck, that's a direct message to Elon Musk to back off. These people are not playing. Let's go.
sure that that's exactly what we're looking at is an intentional act of you know what. All right. So I'm not going to make you guys wait. Let's look at this thing, and then we're going to talk about that, and then we're going to talk about
Jesse.
the new.
Much respect to you, brother.
Some of the details related to this, how many
good
casualties
work, okay?
there were,
Shout
and
out.
And also some updates on the New Orleans one as well.
All right, let's go.
All right, so this is the explosion. I'll let you guys see it for yourselves, and then we'll talk about how we know it is definitely an act of you know what.
Okay. Can you guys see this? Can you guys see this? Wow. Okay. Whoa! Whoa!
Copy.
Whoa! Is that real?
And by the way, there was a driver in that truck. It's gone. He's obviously gone.
Oh,
so it was a bomb. It looks like in a cyber truck.
Somebody.
So let's watch that again, and then see if you guys can start to figure out how you know for absolutely 100% sure that that is exactly what that is. Not to mention, do you think that this is like the other one is supposedly that 4-letter organization from the Middle East? Again, I'm just trying not to get demonetized.
That was okay. Not okay. Let's pause that.
It's that was
more than C4. I'm telling you. I think that was more than C4. I ain't no military brat, but I'm gonna tell you now that was not something somebody put together in their bathroom and brought it out and said, "That's it. That's it. I'm gonna kill him." Nope, that's not it. That was a real EMP that just went off right there. A calico. You understand? Wow, bro. And this is in front of Trump Towers. Yep. That's Trump Towers. I've stayed there before. Not the one in Vegas, but the one in Jersey, Atlantic City. I've stayed there before. I recognize the entry. That's exactly what that is. Hold on.
It's a Muslim person that did the.
Now, Jesse, I'm gonna say this. I think it's too early. Let's pull that back. It's too early to kind of point the finger. I know where you're going with this, Jess, but I think at this point, we're gonna have to broad stroke. You know, we don't want to offend nobody. You know how sensitive the country is, so we're just gonna broad stroke and say somebody that doesn't like Trump, somebody that doesn't want to see him there, and somebody that definitely does not like Elon Musk either.
New Orleans one, which on its face appears to be a very, very different type of terror than this is, because this here,
so this
is
okay. So you guys have got the gist of what's going on here. I'm not going to bore you with this. You know, you guys can do more research. Obviously, you could go to his channel. You could watch him a little bit more, and you can kind of get the rest of the information, whatever he's trying to say there, if you like. Shout out to Jesse. Thanks for the video. We're going to move on to a second topic here. Let's see here. Let me see if I can find it. This is now, by the way, the death toll was at, I think it was at 10. I think it was at 10. Hold on one second. Y'all got to bear with me because I'm still trying to figure out this YouTube thing. You know, I mean, I've been here for a while, but you know, it takes a while to kind of, you know, be quick with it. You know how this channel, they be quick with it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't quick with it yet. All right. I ain't quick with it yet. All right. Let me see. I want to actually talk about, I want to go to the New Orleans thing that happened today. I know NBC was running it. Okay, here we go. This is Fox. Oh, well, okay, Biden. Oh, man, look at Biden. Let's see what Biden has to say about it. Let's go to Biden first. Well, let's see what he's saying. We haven't seen Biden in a minute. Welcome, sir. Welcome, sir. Cheers. Yes. Mm-hmm. 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 Anyone else?
Reported to me, the killer was an American citizen, born
All
in
right, all
Texas.
right, all right. Okay, you
He
guys
served in the
listen.
United States Army on
All
active
right,
duty
so
for many
basically, all
years.
right, so what's going on right now is Biden is just, kind of giving us his speech, what his spiel, letting us know what happened, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to give you all the details. However, we now know that 15 have been unalived. In fact, let's go to New Orleans news. Let's go you the politically correct version of it. I want to get a little deeper. I want to
One
get
thing that we
dirty.
haven't
Let's
really
go.
heard are personal witness accounts of what
Yes.
happened out there. And we caught up with someone who was there this morning as this horrific scene unfolded. So let's take a listen to what they had to say.
Okay.
Like around three,
Buddy,
I want to say 3:15, 3:15. Everybody just chilling. We having a good time, music playing and all that.
Right, as you should.
A truck. I didn't know it was a Ford F-150. I thought it was like a Yukon or something. A truck hits the corner and comes barreling through people, throwing people like a movie scene, like real life, throwing people into the air. They
Can y'all
falling
believe
under the
this
car,
nonsense?
all that.
Can y'all believe this?
And so
Okay, hear me?
a good friend of mine actually passed away from getting.
One second, y'all. One second.
Getting hit by it. And
that's EJ, y'all. That's my engineer right here. That's my engineer right here.
Divots in the wall just like this. So this is what a lot of people jumped into.
Hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I think we missed some things here. Let's go back. All right. Here we go.
A good friend of mine actually passed away from getting hit by it.
Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace, man. That's got to be something.
And the little divots in the wall just like this. So this is what a lot of people jumped into to get away from the truck. But yeah, so after it gets past us, the guy, I didn't know it was a terrorist, but the guy ends up getting out and shooting people. Like he had ARs and bombs and all that.
ARs?
But the aftermath was really what got me.
Wait a minute.
Bodies all up and down the street. Everybody screaming and hollering. You look down, you see somebody doing CPR. You look around, people crying on the floor. Brains matter all over the ground.
Brain matters all over the place. Y'all hear this nonsense?
Yeah, it really hurt me to see like one of my closest friends like that.
One of his friends dies. Rest in peace. Okay. We're gonna go over
We
here
ran
to this
one
other video.
way,
It looks like they're showing.
Good evening. We come on the air with breaking news about that deadly truck
NBC
ramming
News,
attack
y'all.
in New
NBC.
Orleans. Any moment now,
NBC
President
News.
Biden is set
Credible
to
source.
speak about
Let's
the
go.
attack, which is now being investigated as an act of terrorism by the FBI. Here's what we know at this hour. It happened early this morning on New Orleans' bustling Bourbon Street. The FBI says a driver intentionally rammed a Ford pickup truck, which appears to be a rental, into crowds who were celebrating the new year. At least 15 people are dead. More than 30 others are hurt. The New Orleans police superintendent says the driver was, quote, hell-bent on creating carnage. The FBI identifying the suspect as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas.
All right. And there you have it, y'all. I know I wasn't going to say the T word, the T to the E to the rah-rah to the ist. Put it together. The T to the E to the R-R, ist. Guys, right? I wasn't going to say that, but hey, his name is Shamsuddin Jabbar. Now, you guys tell me what kind of name that is right there. Y'all tell me, man. I ain't the smart. I ain't the sharpest knife in the book. Y'all tell me what. Look at him. You look like. Wow. look like Bin Laden a little bit. Bin Laden, little cousin. All right, hold on. Let's go. Let's listen
and an Army veteran who was killed in a shootout with police. The agency also says an ISIS flag and other explosives were found in the truck. Agents are asking the public for help to find any other potential leads. And there have been various questions about whether there may be others who have been involved in this. Officials say their case is very active and they still are clearing the crime scene tonight there. Let me go to Tom Yamas right now, who has been watching along with us from New Orleans. Tom, what's the status of things now?
Yeah, Tom, tell us.
Lester, good evening. Well, I want to show our viewers where this all happened. It happened just behind me there in the corner. The alleged terrorist drove his pickup truck right through here. He jumped the curb, getting around a police cruiser, and then hit Bourbon Street and went 3 blocks straight. His pickup truck was not his only weapon. He also had at least 1 firearm and also an explosive device. He drove for 3 blocks, Lester. Imagine this, 3 a.m., Bourbon Street, New Year's Day. It was packed with revelers. He killed at least 15 people so far. That number.
All right. I don't know how many of y'all have been to, have actually been to New Orleans during an event like this, but I have a question. If you know the answer, put it in the chat or whatever. Now, when you go here, is it a kind of place where people kind of walk in the streets, like some sort of carnival or parade, or are people on the sidewalk walking? You know what I'm saying? Like is it kind of like the street is shut down? Because I'm trying to figure out. Like, they said he jumped the curb and crashed through those people walking. Now, were they on the street or were they actually, on the sidewalk? I'm curious to know that. If you know the answer, put it in the chat, please.
Is expected to grow, possibly because several people right now are fighting for their lives inside of New Orleans hospitals. When he crashes his car into a crane on Conti Street, again, which is 3 blocks up, he gets out and he gets into a shootout with police. Police were able to shoot and kill him, and that's where the investigation has begun from here. There are still some major questions, including why did he pick New Orleans? Why New Year's Day? One reason might be the massive crowds that come here on any night to have a great time on Bourbon Street, but also because the Sugar Bowl, just behind me is the Superdome over there, and the Sugar Bowl is one of the biggest college football games around, Lester, as you know. It was set to take place.
Yo, one thing y'all got to remember about these T to the E to the Rust, right? The T to T, the errors, what I mean? Those guys, they just are some sad human beings, y'all. And you know how they say hurt people hurt people? These people, a lot of time, the reason why they're doing what they're doing is because, and I'm not justifying this by no means, shape, or form. This is the saddest thing I've heard, in a while. But, however, the reason why they do this stuff, because maybe a family member back home got killed, or maybe their children or their wives or parents or something like that, and they having a hard time dealing with it, and they just decide they're going to exact terror on somebody else in retaliation. Anybody in America they see kind of having a good time, enjoying liberty of America, they're trying to take your ass down. And it's a sad thing, but that's what they do. Let's see what
place. It's going to be postponed now, but there were those huge Sugar Bowl crowds rooting on the University of Georgia and Notre Dame in town for the big game as well. And the alleged terrorists might thought this would have been a good target. The other big question people are asking, why were there no barriers? Behind me here on Bourbon Street, there should be what are known as bollards. They're essentially metal poles, if you will, and they stop cars
so it looks like,
going inside.
So it looks like they were
redoing all of them for the Super Bowl.
So it looks like they were on the sidewalk then, right? I don't know. If you know the answer, tell me.
I've been told by sources close to the projects that were ongoing here in New Orleans to replace those bollards that there was a rush. They wanted to fast track this project to get those bollards up before the Super Bowl, was just about a month away, a little over a month away here in New Orleans. And that
Wait, hold on. That's right. The Super Bowl is supposed to be here in New Orleans. The things that make you go, huh. Is this somebody trying to jeopardize the Super Bowl? Now that puts somebody else on the list. Now we have to think about who has something to lose or gain if the Super Bowl doesn't happen. You know, now I know it had all the hoopla about the performances, and I might be taking this a stretch. I may be reaching here, but we all know that some people are not happy because certain indigenous New Orleanians are not going to be able to perform, and they actually have Kendrick Lamar performing. I just don't see that coming from that kind of camp. I don't think it's that serious, but you never know today. Let's go.
The work was being done very quickly. Because it was being done very quickly, they removed all the bollards on Bourbon Street. So essentially, the alleged terrorist, when he came through here and he got around that squad car, he had free reign to go all the way down Bourbon Street, really with not a lot stopping him. And that's why he was able to go at least 3 blocks. Those questions are being asked right now, Lester, and a lot of people here in New Orleans just shaken to their core. Not only people who live in New Orleans, they love New Orleans, but also all the people that are in town, the tourists that came here to celebrate New Year's Day and college football and got a much different experience, Lester.
Wow.
And Tom, as you know, there has been a lot of questions about a possible motive here. There was a flag that was hitched to a trailer, if I understand, an ISIS flag.
So that's what
have officials gone further to discuss what they think might be a specific motive in this case?
You know, I will say this, Lester. The investigation, obviously, as you know, is very fluid. They have reported that ISIS flag was on the back of the pickup truck. You can see that in some of the images that have been taken of the white pickup truck. It looks like he had a large pole with the black flag attached to the back of that pickup truck on that pole.
Look at that.
You can see it right here. It's in the center of the bed.
So the only reason he got stopped was because of the
that's one of the things, obviously, the FBI.
Let's pause that. The crane right there, I guess they're doing some kind of work. So everybody was walking on the sidewalk, and here he comes going northbound on Bourbon, and he collides with this crane right here. Thank God. I got to tell you, like, whoever's on the other side of this crane, I mean, they got to be like on their knees, just praying to the gods of safety. Like, can you imagine? Their lives were this close to being over, and that crane, God bless it, was there to save the rest of the people.
That's now leading the investigation is going to be looking at. The other thing that is interesting in this case, we're talking about a U.S. citizen who is also an Army veteran, right? We understand now he had a career in the Army. He served in Afghanistan in both human resources and IT capacities.
So whose side is he on?
also a realtor and a property manager in Texas.
Whose side is he really on? He's an Army vet. He served in Iraq. You know, so obviously, was he a double agent? This is the part I don't understand. Like, if I'm Russian, there's no way I'm gonna, go fight the Russians for the Ukrainians. That's impossible. And if I'm Russian army, I wouldn't hire him. I wouldn't enlist him to go in there and fight, because he's gonna go in there and see his brothers over there, and he's not gonna want to do what he's supposed to do. That's a conflict of interest, in my opinion. What say you?
Happened. So there's a lot of questions on when did he become radicalized? What was the motive here? Why he chose New Orleans? And was he indeed working with ISIS? And also the big question, Lester, and this has been going back and forth, were there others who had helped him? The FBI initially had said they were looking for co-conspirators. That might be changing, but it's still very fresh in the investigation, Lester.
All right, Tom Yamas, thanks very much. Again, we're standing by. We expect to hear remarks at any moment by President Biden, who will be making his first public comments.
Okay, so that was before
this horrible
Biden
tragedy. Let me go to Jesse Kirsch, who is also in New Orleans and gathering on this story as well. Jesse, what can you report?
So basically, guys.
Yeah, so Lester, we are just outside of the Superdome, which is set to host the Sugar Bowl, part of the college football playoff tomorrow, and then the Super Bowl. And
the other thing I want to talk about
As you can see, they have added further barriers
today
along.
Is actually New Year's Day, as we all know. And I would like to kind of see what people are thinking. I mean, do we still have New Year's resolutions? Do we still do that on New Year's Eve? Like a list of things that we would like to accomplish, which is usually forgotten by the 10th of January anyway. But it's still fun to know. What are your New Year? I can't talk right now. New Year resolutions for January. If you'll be kind enough to leave that in the chat, I appreciate it. Just to know, I would say for me is just to go harder than I ever have. Don't allow the haters and the fakers to get to me. Stay a professional. It's all about family for me and everything. And, taking 2025 by the storm. All right. That happy New Year, guys, to everyone. I just want to say, it's been a good year so far. And I am really glad that everything worked out and we're all still here. And I look forward to seeing you guys on the next live and the next video. If you enjoy the content somewhat, hit the like button. I appreciate that. Hit subscribe if you want to be notified on the next live. And just like that, we are out. Peace.